Because the average person making $30,000 a year, $25,000 a year, they think somebody making $100,000 a year is rich. And there's all this class envy the media hypes up. No, that's the middle class that gives you a job. And so the ultra-rich are busy waging war against the middle class, shutting it down. And then you're not going to have a good job anymore. See how that works? And now we see Obama's tax plan. It's hundreds of new taxes on everybody. Everyone. Everybody. He lied on that too, didn't he? But as they implode the economy, they're going to beat the drum and say, let's tax the rich. Meanwhile, most of that tax money's taken and given as banker bailout money. Oh, by the way, I forgot this article. I forgot to go over it. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's here in my stack. Wait, I guess that didn't print. Thought I hit print on that. Guys, go to Prison Planet and InfoWars for me. It's in the top stories. It's $23 trillion. You see, the last banker bailout numbers we had was 2.5 months old, and it was 14.8. And I said at current spending, if in 2 months when they announce the numbers, it should be above 20 trillion. Yes, it's 23 trillion and change. There's the headline. Cost of bailouts hits a whopping $24 trillion. That according to CNBC. But that's coming up next hour. I'm going to get back to your calls right now. Now, to the fella called in scared about black helicopters, I see this a lot. I'm Alex Jones. I mean, I'm kind of the biggest guy in the anti-New World Order movement, in conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, in alternative reality, or in simply pointing out the hypocrisy. And I've had some harassment and some things happen, and then I just said, I don't care, do whatever you're going to do to me, and it all went away. Because the only other option they've got is to set me up for something I haven't done or kill me. Harassment doesn't work on me. Audits don't work. Being beat up doesn't work. Being threatened doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm committed. Point of no return. My whole life, everything I am, spiritually, physically, is invested in fighting evil. I am far beyond driven, far past committed. My entire soul isn't just committed to this fight. My soul is this fight. And so when you stop caring, you stop getting harassed. Now, that said, still occasionally different branches of the New World Order, who the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, they'll do a test harassment, and I always enjoy them. I always enjoy it, and it gives me energy and helps me get up in the morning, so that goes away. But more often than not, people who are in rural areas think black helicopters are after them because they'll be a listener to this show or listener to another show, and they'll see a helicopter over their house and flying around on their 10 acres or whatever. Everybody gets that visit. You can be a Bush-loving neocon, an Obama-loving communist. You can be a New World Order lover. Everybody. You can be a cop. And you own 20 acres, and another agency doesn't know that. They're going to come fly over your property looking for marijuana plants because they get to take your property and move into it if they find dope. And they're looking for heat exhaust ports off your house, off-gassing heat from grow lamps. They're looking for the residents of grow lamps. Everybody gets that visit. So what happens by extension is you visit Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com. Folks, tens of millions of people visit the sites every week now. It's insane how big they are. Everybody's not getting a black helicopter visit who visits my site. Everyone is getting a black helicopter visit. They fly in grids. They fly over every piece of property. My parents have 3.5 acres in the middle of Austin. Every month or so, a helicopter flies over, looks around for marijuana plants, flies around residencing the house, violating the Fourth Amendment. Courts have said they can't do it. They do it. They don't care. But they're not doing it because they're the New World Order, there to come suck your blood out. There to, abduct you and take you to the mothership. That is, they're not overtly doing it for the New World Order, to intimidate you because you're anti-New World Order. It's all part of the New World Order that everybody's under surveillance. All right, that said, let's go to more calls. So this guy, since he's exposing and telling people about how they're using sewage on the crops, and then he sees helicopters. Of course you see helicopters in rural areas and in growth areas and in plant areas. And they got helicopters flying over the city parks in the more remote areas. I can't tell you how many times years ago when I had time to hike 2 or 3 times a week in the green belts, tens of thousands of acres the cities have stolen. More and more they're building on it, but the stolen property, you can still hike on it, that they stole from people before they build on it. And, I remember several times having a helicopter fly over and look at me, or one of the DEA or Army helicopters. The Army helps the local police fly around and look for pot. It's all part of merging the military and police. You can even Google, Army helping police look for marijuana, and you'll see hundreds of news articles. That's what it is. They're not flying over your house because you're anti-New World Order. So see, there's a fine line here of paranoia. Yes, the New World Order is enslaving us. Folks, if you want something to worry about, if you want something where they're getting you, where they're attacking you, the vaccines, the GMO food, the sodium fluoride and other chemicals in the water. But see, that's done compartmentalized. There's less than 10 big companies authorized and certified through this certification process the feds have, because they lobby the cities and counties to pass the laws, and then they also lobby the action plan of the chemicals they put in your water. The people at the water plant don't know what they're doing. Most of the people at the companies where they're mining this stuff out of the ground, the chemicals, and where they're mixing the toxic waste from aluminum production and fertilizer production, they don't know. It's compartmentalized. You want to look for where you're being attacked, it's anything unified and standardized. That's where they're getting it. Because it's a very small group of people carrying out this whole thing. Okay? All right, we're going to take more calls. Stay with us. All right, I said I'm going to take calls. We're going to go to John, Jim, Mark, Dino, D, and many others. Dino disagrees from Oregon, so we'll put him to the head of the line. Go ahead, Dino.
Hey, Alex.
Go ahead.
Well, I just disagree with some of the approaches you take, the way you deliver the information. I've been listening to you since 2002, so obviously I support you. I listen to Joyce, the Power Hour, and Derry Brownfield.
Great, good for them. There's all these different ways that people deliver information. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean here, but I don't make you listen. No. I don't claim to have all the answers here, buddy. I mean, I'm just a free human being covering what's happening and going over what's happening, trying to shake people awake.
Right of it real quick. I'm not your buddy, pal, but that's just a joke. But seriously, I just want to say that you're doing a good job. I think we need to concentrate less on fear and reaction right now. Americans need to hold their ground, stand strong, and get away from the New World Order. That's an easy thing to do.
Hold their ground. We're getting run over here. We're getting run over here by the globalists. The average person is still sucking their thumb, walking around like it's all a big party.
I agree with the information, obviously, but Joyce the other day had some guy on there talking about overpopulation. I called her and I said, geez, this guy is talking about overpopulation. The world's not overpopulated. Look at Google Earth. There's hardly any people on the damn planet. We need more people. We need to promote people. We need to meet our neighbors and talk to our friends about this information. And perhaps maybe listen to Alex Jones a little less. Maybe just 2 days a week. I was on 5 and 6 days a week for 6 years.
You're a great caller. I appreciate the weirdo call. Let's listen to Alex a little bit less. That's a good idea. Look, I understand there's an innate subconscious frustration with hearing me get up here and get angry and get serious. And maybe you should be listening a little less, sir, because if you think the way you contribute is calling up and telling me what I need to do better or how I need to deliver things better, I say start your own radio show, start your own newsletter, start your own website. More power to you. That's what we try to do here as well. We try to link to everybody and promote everybody. But I'm also a free human. And you could say a little less fear. Let me tell you something. I talked to 2 women in the airport yesterday and a woman on the airplane flying back from Los Angeles. And I just walked up to them and I said, you have very nice young children. You need to really investigate vaccines. They're very, very deadly. And the women all said thank you. Because I did it in a serious, focused, met their eyes.